Hello and welcome. Pardon the delay. We are beginning a brand new adventure here in Control. This is a game I have not played even a smidgen of. I have not seen any of it yet, apart from some odd trailers and whatnot. And I am very, very excited. I am still not fully in the know as to what's going on. Hopefully that's intentional. We will get in the know together as we go along. All I know about this game is that it is made by Remedy Entertainment, the makers of Max Payne and Alan Wake and Quantum Break, and some of my very, very favorites. Some of the original, part of the original wave of like bullet time and slow-mo effects and stuff. They've been at the forefront of a lot of cool things. But I'm not the expert to speak on that. Let's play some games, shall we? I am very, very excited to start this new journey with you, and now I will shut up and see if there's an introductory cutscene. Here we go. New game. Oh, I want to kick the brightness up, because my TV is notoriously terrible. I'm going to go 82. I am using headphones, if it matters. Sure. New bureau employees often get lost in the shifting corridors of the oldest house. When in doubt, look for green direction signs and consult your map. What is the new bureau? Or I suppose just the bureau. I got excited by the capitalized new. I'm sorry. That was a mistake. That was on me. And then secondarily, of course, what is the oldest house? Questions? Questions for the questions platter? Anyone? Anyone?
Fair warning. This is gonna be weirder than usual.
Oh, thank goodness.
Can't be helped. You called me. So here I am. I know I shut you out sometimes. I'm always glad to hear from you. It's just that I get my hopes up. So many times it's led to nothing. I found nothing. It's like we live in a room, and there's a poster on the wall. We stare at it, and we think that's the whole world. The room and the poster. The picture's something nice. A landscape, a famous person. Like in that movie, what is it called? The prison movie. The room's a cell, and the picture, it's different for each of us. It can be beautiful or terrible, but we're all transfixed. But it's all a lie. Something to distract us from the truth. They're lying to us. We're lying to ourselves. The room's not the world. The world is much bigger and much stranger. There's a hole hidden behind that poster that leads to the real world. We all feel safe in that room. But sometimes something crawls out from behind the poster. And the ones that see it happen freak out and try to forget what they saw. I'm here. Why did you bring me here? Hello?
Stunning introductory sequence. I am stunned. Okay. We find ourselves in the lobby of the Federal Bureau of Control, where there is a typewriter rather than a computer, despite the fact that I appear to be wearing modern clothing. Interesting. Can I steal stuff already? Is that in the offing? Well, I probably shouldn't steal stuff and then go through the metal detectors. Sure. Okay. I'm armed. Sorry about that. Collectibles. Correspondence. Certain objects are not allowed inside the Bureau. Recent incidents have necessitated an issued reminder on prohibited materials. These prohibited materials include unauthorized weapons, pagers, laptops, anything smart. Number 2, pencils. Any objects considered iconic representations of an archetypal concept, e.g. rubber ducks and/or ketchup bottles. All material under Bureau investigation is to be brought in through the private entrances. If you see any lobby personnel in breach of these policies, throw a ketchup bottle at them immediately. Interesting. So they don't allow archetypal items. If that has something to do with, I don't know what that has something to do with. Why speculate? Strange that there's no one to welcome me. Is everyone okay? Is anyone okay? This door opened by itself. I did not open it. I just want to make it clear for the authorities. Any authorities that may be watching? Bureau expenditures. Tell me about it. Mold removal. Pretty big one. And the rest is redacted.
This seal. I saw it a long time ago. I keep seeing it in my dreams.
One thing I have heard about this game, just to mention it before we go any further, is that it's not only very informative and entertaining to, like, read all the collectible documents you pick up. Apparently they've put quite a bit of effort into it. It's also kind of saves your life halfway through the game. In a sense, it's very, very important to read what you find, because there will be answers to questions you will need to know later. It's something I've heard, so I'm acting under that guise, without really knowing why. Maybe the doors have some sort of motion sensor, and I'm not being haunted. Maybe that's what's happening. Thoroughly check the toilets for secrets. But no matter how thoroughly I check the toilets, they still hide their secrets from me.
Federal Bureau of Control. All these years I've been looking for them, and they were hiding in plain sight.
Interesting. Horses, perhaps? Why don't any of you roll your blinds either all the way up or all the way down? Did you not have time? Did some horrible disaster happen and you couldn't roll your blinds either all the way up or all the way down? I'm confused. Very interesting how they, in addition to archetypal items, they don't allow modern technologies, anything smart, laptops, phones, etc., etc. Must be a risk. A security order. A shark in his, although secure, permission to, following basic protocol, shoot to kill. Okay. There's going to be a shark. Probably going to have to jump it at some point. It's going to be very dramatic. Can't find your office? There's no help for you, apparently. Can't find your office? Well, this poster's just here to remind you you're an idiot. I hear humming. Who is humming? Someone's trilling. Someone's humming and trilling. Hello. As you all should know by now, the R4 reports are due by the end of the week. We are still waiting on them from a number of people. If you need an extension, please request form R4.E from your supervisor or your ketchup bottle. If you think you're exempt from filing an R4, then you'll need to get written permission from your department chief saying so. Remember, R4s are mandatory under Section 75.2 of the Employee Manual. If your R4 requires interdepartmental claims, then please contact the appropriate department head. Dr. Darling, Ms. Marshall, Mr. Salvador, or Mr. Kirkland, as needed. They'll be busy on Thursday in their annual policy review, so please schedule accordingly. Hello. I'll be acting as your narrator. It's the janitor. The janitor whose face we eerily did not get to see during the opening cutscene. Does he have a face? Is it just a big void? We're about to find out. Don't you judge me!
Hey, excuse me.
Sorry to interrupt. I don't mean to startle you. I know you have earbuds in. Can I make a shadow that you will see? Hey.
There you are. You are here about
Oh, you have a face. I'm so glad.
janitor's assistant.
Yeah, that's me.
Interview. Go that way to the elevator.
Thanks. Elevator that way. Got it.
Very good. I'm Ahti, the janitor, by the way. You
Ahti,
work for
good to
me.
meet you.
You can say I sent you. If they don't hire you,
Ahti sent me.
you are no helmet. There be work for the axe. Take them behind the sauna, jumalauta.
I've done enough.
I caught some of that.
to know it makes
Some of
us
it appeared to be
weird.
perhaps
Ahti the
Norwegian.
janitor is a friendly face in my book.
Better than somebody
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
face at all.
stepping right on your... Oh, I'm sorry.
No
With my
face.
dirty boots.
But that said, I know what you're thinking. If there's an axe murderer around, that's him.
Is there an axe murderer around? Now you've put the idea in my head. Why would you do that? Alright, sorry. Checking out your closet. He told me to go this way? This way. For the interview. I don't think the carpet is wet, but sure. Cleaning in progress. Good. And not necessarily a wet floor sign. They thought of everything. They saw me coming. Okay, so we did pass by there, right? Yes. And then we went all the way around somehow in a hallway, and now we're back here. Got it. Just trying to keep track.
The cell and the poster. I was 11
Yes, tell us
years
more
old
about
the
this.
first time I saw behind the poster. They told me I imagined it. I've been trying to pull it down ever since. Will you help?
welcome back. You imagined all of that. None of that actually happened.
Did I lose you?
How
there
do
for a
I know
moment?
about it? Well, I imagined
You
it
know
too.
what's on my mind. My baby brother, Dylan. 17 years since the men of this bureau took him.
17 years ago, the men of this bureau took my baby brother Dylan, if you were curious. Bit of backstory for you there. Maybe important. Alright, we got some alarms going off now. I do not have clearance level 1. My first instinct is to turn off the alarm somehow, but I guess that's really not my place here. Approved terminology reminder. Reminder regarding the drafting of any public-facing material. While penning any notifications of death related to the Willow AWE, please adhere to the following guidelines. Words and phrases to use. In the service of his or her country, regret, proud/pride, will be remembered. Words and phrases to avoid. Alaska, scissors, blood/bleed, loss, apologies/sorry. People need apologies. Let's just address this. People need apologies to heal. And if you treat it as a legal issue, that by saying an apology you are admitting to guilt, people will never be able to heal. That's my opinion. Now, chuck it away. It's worthless. Nothing in here, and yet it's such a lovely office. I wish it was better represented with collectibles, but sure. Hello? I'm looking for the director's office. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Has anyone ever heard of the director's office? Got some nice pneumatic tubes. Wonder if we'll get to use those. Nothing more thrilling than pneumatic tubes. Non-official. Barbara, I am not to be disturbed. Cancel all of my appointments for the day. For the rest of the week. I can't trust them, Barbara, not a single one. Signed, cordially, with love, Trench. Nice stapler. Okay, someone's banging in the director's office. Someone's banging around. Crumping on the coffee table. I'll stop looking around. Fine.
Shit. Shit.
Got here just in time.
You want me to pick it up? The murder weapon? Really?
Interesting map.
Something's outside. It was coming. You're a mistake.
I'm gonna need to figure out how to read that. Yeah, there is something, misty happening to the door. That I find unpleasant to look at. Let's look at this instead. I'll just grab that murder weapon there.
And there goes the poster.
Objects of power can cause or be results of AWE's altered world events, intrusions upon perceived reality. Now, the service weapon is, of course, a prime example of an OOP, a very powerful one. Ingrained in the Bureau's DNA, a key component in our prime candidate program. Come out of that Russian roulette a winner and you're it.
Look at this place.
It's unpleasant. In order to be the director of the Bureau, you have to play Russian roulette with an ancient artifact? Gun/sword/ intentionally left blank? I guess we're platforming. We're platforming now. And there's a smoke man. There's a man made out of dust bunnies. And decay. Don't worry, I gave him the old palm strike.
The same gun.
I'll take that. So the gun is the house, in some sense. Working theory.
Okay. Now I have a gun.
Yeah, that's a fancy piece. Oh, it regenerates ammunition. That is so nice. Thank you, gun. / intentionally left blank. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, thumbs. We're gonna have to get better at this part of the job. Yes? It's so strange to not really have to reload, since it just regenerates.
Something's coming. This threat. An attack. Duty as director. Keep the Bureau safe.
Did you hear that? It's the dead man. Right after the pyramid spoke to me, and it was just noise, and I understood every word. And this gun's alive. You know what? I'm happy. Happy to be here.
You know what? Me too.
Things have
Loving
quieted down
this.
outside. Is it safe to go?
Sorry about your desk, but, okay, I own this place now. Everyone works for me. Everyone's dead, never mind, nobody works for me. Okay.
You can't let this happen. 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 You stopped it. You... Oh, thank you. That was... horror.
It's not over yet. Well, I've made a mess of the hallway. And your sternums. Sorry about that. Do I have Clearance level 1 now. Really? Even though I'm possessing the living gun? Fair enough. Probably need some sort of swipey thing. I don't know.
The hotline. Secure line of communication. Guide us. Reach the hotline.
It is such a cool effect that you're seeing him, his silhouette, from so many different angles at the same time. I'm coming for you. Coming for you with my palm strike. Ah, health boost. Lovely. Can I get anybody a soda? Can I throw a soda up there? Are you capable of catching it? Are you capable of digestion? Tell me anything. Sometimes it's hard to be a new boss coming into the workplace and no one will speak to you because they don't trust you yet, and also because they're floating on the ceiling, potentially possessed. Dinner reservations at 7 p.m. at Chambry. Wife will meet you there. Don't be late. Flowers are ready for you at the lobby reception. Remember, she is turning 46. Don't get it wrong again. Not like the last time. Is that another woman who coincidentally works here, or am I now part of the portraiture? I genuinely don't know. Have I always been part of the portraiture? What is going on here? More questions for the platter. It's not important. I'm just collecting them. Make sure I didn't miss any scraps over here. So sorry. Ah. Pay dirt.
Reminder, if you experience an unanticipated building shift, follow these simple steps. 1. Search the room for any altered items or objects of power. 2. Carry the altered item or object of power to the nearest safe room. 3. Wait for Bureau staff to find you and the object. If there are no altered items or objects of power in the vicinity, then reach your supervisor via the nearest intercom and await further instructions. Thank you for your attention.
Okay. So the building may unexpectedly, quote-unquote, shift. And we will have to, deal with that. Still nothing in the toilets? No secrets for me, toilets? Shameful. Shameful, the lack of toilet secrets. Executive meeting minutes. Agenda items for the next executive meeting. The rising costs of AWE response. Update on mold eradication efforts. Upcoming annual salary review. The new supplier of coffee filters to be found and vetted. Please come prepared. Please come with a full list of vetted coffee filter suppliers. Per Bureau regulation. Hey, you're close enough for me to tickle your feet, which makes you special among your peers. What a weirdo. He's not even gonna respond. I feel really, really like this is a hostile work environment. No one's gonna pay attention to my leadership as director. Okay. So 1 out of 6 people got in the shelter. Good for you, sir. You were following protocols. I'll mark it down. A house memory. But I do not have clearance level. I do not have clearance for assets. For Marshall's eyes only. Marshall, we checked out the suspected AWE in Duluth. Wasn't anything, just like the house fire before, and the malfunctioning clothes dryer before that. My team is getting pretty sick of duds. We need to find a better way to sort the fake AWEs from the real. Or you need to rotate these field agents off for a bit. Anyway, we're en route to Sherman Ranch, next one on the list. Let's hope it's a little livelier there. Sincerely, Special Agent Keenum. So I can seal myself in the shelter, it seems. Something to keep in mind. Guess where?
Hissing sound that tried to invade me earlier. The hiss. Burrowing into everything in this place. Is the hiss your enemy? Alright, it's our enemy. That babble's contagious. It burrows in like an infuriating melody that makes you hum it over and over.
I'm still not exactly sure who she's talking to, like who you are in her head. I'm excited to find out. Nothing? Or is it like Morse code? I don't know Morse code. It may just be some sort of, oh, the radio's broken, zappy indicator, too. It may be nothing. I'm not sure. Maybe Morse code. Is this a building shift? This looks like some weird architecture. And the pyramid. Our dear friend, the pyramid. Urban legends. Believed to affect the creation of altered materials, but can also dictate the characteristics of an altered world event. Urban legends are understood as the modern evolution of Jung's archetypes. We recognize certain redacted, informed by our own redacted, and popularized by our media. We have additionally proven that urban legends can even be artificially in popular culture using our Bureau-made anthology television program. Once the seeds are sown, human imagination exacerbates the details. Certain paranatural phenomena contain clear elements of popularized folklore. AWEs that only occur on a pair of scissors that consume human through 2 punctures on the... These details, living in the minds of so many, have been given strength through belief. Urban legends are not just stories for children, they are paranatural realities waiting to happen. Refer to file 493-6942. I would dearly love to. That sounds horrifying. A pair of scissors that consume human through 2 punctures on the vampire scissors? Is that a pair of scissors that consume human blood through 2 punctures on the neck? I think we've gotten the code. It's vampire scissors, everyone. Yeah, I'm the director. Sometimes I stand on the coffee table, just to remind everyone. How to handle unscheduled visitors entering the lobby. Start with the following. Welcome to the Federal Bureau of Control. Established in 1964 as part of an effort to strengthen government relations, we are proud to serve the United States and her people as we strive for transparency and excellence in all aspects of our esteemed nation's infrastructure. If they do not leave, ask them these questions. Are you here to see someone? Are you here from New York City, or just visiting? How did you find this place? If their answers are sufficiently harmless, explain that this is a secure federal office, and they need to leave. If their answers seem redacted, escort them to a private room. There, perform the Gunnar's psychological assessment. If their responses are within the acceptable range of deviance, see the provided scoring sheet. Then redact it immediately. Remember, there's no such thing as too suspicious. Well, I have to go redact it immediately. All right, Pyramid, what do you got for me? Hi. Oh, we have a special agent. Okay, he's not so much for the meleeing.
Cleanse control points. An enemy. Corrupt. Spreading.
Must cleanse control point.
Cleanse the control point. What does that mean? Help me fix
Okay,
it.
I'm gonna think about that concept and touch the floor. It seems to have cleared it.
Holy shit. You did it. We did it.
Hello? Can you hear me? Are you with us?
Okay, on death you will restart at the last control point accessed. Perfect. I'm kinda sane. I can definitely hear
I
you.
can't tell you how happy I am to talk to somebody sane.
The feeling's mutual. Yeah, I'm Pope, Emily Pope, Dr. Darling's assistant.
My turn. Should I lie? Jesse Faden. I'm just visiting. I should have lied.
Did she lie?
Shit.
No.
You're
Oh,
the
good.
new director. Hold on. We're coming out.
Well, I feel underdressed.
Call me Jesse.
Okay, Jesse. I'm Emily. Look, somehow this hostile force, this
Hiss?
that works. Somehow the hiss managed to infiltrate the building without any warning.
And just like that, my name for it is official. The hiss. Like the sound of poison gas leaking in.
We're in full lockdown. It seems to have spread
Like the
everywhere,
sound of a
and
snake
everyone
flirting
not
with you.
protected by an HRA. And, extraordinarily, you. You are the director, and that makes you special by definition. Trench is no longer the director, obviously. I'm sorry.
Yeah, his blood is all over my desk.
The whole situation is just a lot.
Trench is dead. Shot.
Ah,
I found his body. And the gun. Do I tell her it looked like a suicide?
the service weapon.
Also, and this can sound crazy, but he keeps appearing to me saying things?
In silhouette, keeps adjusting his
It's hard to
glasses.
make
Anyone
out,
know what I'm
but
talking
he told
about?
me to cleanse the control point. Push the hiss out. The whole room shifted around.
You did that? And you entered the building when it was already in the lockdown before you became the new director? How?
Yeah, just walked right in off the street.
I'm not ready to tell her about you yet. A janitor let me in.
I love it. This is fucking unbelievable. I can't even... Look, Jesse, I have a million questions, and you probably have a million more.
Like, do you know my brother Dylan? Not yet.
But there's something I need to ask you to do first. If you can
Here it
cleanse the
comes.
control point, then you can maybe cure those infected or possessed by the hiss. Because if that's possible, our options are very different.
Emily Pope. I don't know her, but I like her already. She's the opposite of the faceless agency I've blamed for what happened to me for so long.
She has a
can't
face,
trust
you
her
mean?
yet. Or rather, the bureau she's a part of. Yes. I can try.
I
I'm
can't
speaking for
trust
you, of
her or
course.
the bureau that she's a
We can
part
try it
of that
together.
I now run. Accidentally.
Okay. You with me? We did it before. Push the hiss out.
Alright, hold still. I'm gonna push your hiss out. I know that sounds weird, but just bear with me. Is she alive?
The hiss has burrowed
That's a
too
no?
deep. Ripping it out.
What a shame.
Rips them apart.
What was her name? What was her backstory? Who's gonna miss her? I'm sorry about that. Appeared to be the action of a faceless bureaucracy. What else can I do at these control points? Outfits. Ooh. I'm just a civilian. Let's not get excited. Don't unlock the big ball gown until later. As much as you want it now. And oh goodness, do I want it now! Alright, I'd better stop exploring and, yes, what did you need me for after I killed that woman?
I can't cleanse them.
I saw. It was worth a shot. Thank you.
I saw you murder
Jesse.
from up here on top of the stairs.
I'm gonna tell her why I'm here. I'll risk it. Listen. The Bureau was involved in an incident in my hometown, Ordinary. 17 years ago.
Her hometown's name is
Bureau
Ordinary?
came and
That's
covered the whole
fantastic.
thing up. I've been looking for this place for a long time.
It's like a big ketchup bottle.
That's enough. Maybe that's too much already. I can't tell her about Dylan and the rest yet.
I've seen mentions of an Altered World event case dealing with Ordinary. You were at Ground Zero as a child? It was one of the big ones, and before my time. And very classified. I can try to dig out some old files for you. My boss, Casper Darling, would know, but he's missing. I think he knew this was coming, or suspected. He came up with the HRAs, the Hadron Resonance Amplifiers. I think they're what saved us. Or a few of us.
Is that what you're wearing?
And Director Trench would know.
Trench. The ghost, or whatever he is. He mentioned something called the hotline. Said I should find it.
It's another object of power, like the gun, an old Bakelite telephone. A direct line of communication between the director and the board. Maybe he can talk to you more clearly through that.
I love the fact that an
Trench
old
has
Bakelite
years and
telephone
years
is
of experience.
one of the objects
He
of
might
power.
know how to destroy the hiss.
Where is the hotline?
It's kept in the communications department through the mailroom. It's part of this sector, so we can access it even with the lockdown in place. We'll get the door open for you.
Okay, that's my next stop.
That's Tomasi's department. He's the head of communications. I don't think he had an HRA. He kind of made a point about not wearing one earlier. Keep an eye out.
They call me the director. But that's not me. I'm not a director type. I'm not a leader. Why am I here? I think you already know. Yes, I came for my brother, but there are other reasons too. I said I was looking for answers, but I might never understand them. I'm not looking for proof. This is already it. More than enough. No matter what they told me all those years, I know it's real now.
What is that room?
I want to be a part of this world. What scares me shitless is that I finally found it. Only to see the hiss destroy it all.
It's calling.
Don't hesitate to ask me anything you want to know. There are no stupid questions. The door to the comms department is just outside the boardroom back in the lobby. They should have gotten it open by now. Follow the signs to the mailroom. You can get to the hotline containment chamber through there. Good luck, Jesse. See you back here once you have the hotline.
Thanks, Emily.
Thank you, Emily. I appreciate that, and your kind attention.
The hotline
Now I have some
should be
stupid
in the
questions for you.
communications department.
Tell me more about your vest.
So HRA stopped
Comfortable?
you from becoming hits.
Lightweight?
Wait, it seems that way. I mean, I hadn't even heard of an HRA until a few weeks ago when Dr. Darling started handing them out. Well, I began analyzing mine as soon as I got it. I mean, each one seems to emit a powerful short-range frequency way beyond anything I've ever seen.
Doesn't the timing seem suspicious?
I thought that too. Dr. Darling usually likes to unveil his latest breakthrough in big presentations. With these, he just passed them out. Yeah, his behavior makes me wonder what exactly he knew.
Can you tell me what an object of power is exactly? This is all, well, new to me.
Don't worry, I love going over the basics. So objects of power are mundane objects that house paranatural energies and have developed a link to the astral plane and can thus be controlled, which is what differentiates them from altered items, which are still housings of paranatural forces, but are more volatile and cannot be bound in the peri-utilitarian sense.
Oh yeah, I understand exactly.
Did she memorize this? Got it. Thanks.
That's everything I wanted to know. Yep.
I keep hearing him in my head. Is he a ghost? Haunting me?
I doubt we're talking about a ghost in the traditional sense, but an echo maybe. See, if he was killed by the service weapon, your gun, maybe it's his final thoughts recorded by the bullet in his brain, like a deep space probe sending back data. But that's just a hypothesis on my part. I need the gun to research it. But you better hold on to that given the circumstances.
I think I will. Yeah.
So because the gun shoots bullets that are not traditional, the bullet he used to kill himself is still communicating with the gun? Somehow that is so fascinating and strange.
Where did the hiss come from?
I'm not sure. You said the hiss was here when you entered. Did you see anything like that outside before you came in?
No. No, just
like
inside.
bicycles and hot dog
The
stands and
source
stuff,
is
no.
internal, then. See, the oldest house is a sprawling complex with openings to other places as well. I don't even know where to start looking. But in the context, it's good news. The lockdown holds. The hiss escaping the building would be the end. Pretty shitty world out there if you ask me, but I wouldn't want the hiss to destroy it.
With you on that, Emily.
All right. Curiosity sated. Thank you for your time.
I'm sure I'll have more questions soon.
Just let me know.
Let's go find an old Bakelite telephone. I still do not have clearance level. But I guess these are just like... Maybe I craft something with these later, and they're not actually going to unlock. I was reading that strangely. We'll figure out what those are for. Upgrades, perhaps? Tomasi, fetch me my upgrades. Okay, so there's a big weird disturbance on this door, which I'm assuming means go this way, to the communications department, and to the nostalgia department. And whatever dead letters is.
There it is again.
Letters that
A
have
welcome
died,
message.
I assume. Give one more sweep in here, just in case. I'm sure we'll be back and forth many times in this area. But I feel like I'm missing something easy. Clearance level 3? We have a holding cell. I wonder what it will soon be holding, besides the jukebox. Strange. I'm very excited to know what that jukebox is. But no items that I'm seeing. Okay. Looks much better up here now that it's not being intersected by strange geometry. There's that radio again. Not sure what we're supposed to do with that. Maybe something happens now that it's not hissing? Nope. Not sure what they're expecting me to do with that. Maybe it comes into play later. So I don't think we had access to any of these rooms prior. It's like a workshop of some sort. Clearance level 4. Just keeps going up and up. A weapon modification. I'm assuming I can't personally do anything about this yet. There's an empty slot. Consecutive kills boost or shatter recoil efficiency. I must not have shatter yet, whatever that is. Consecutive kills boost sounds great, but I'll save it. Save it until I have more information. Now I'm just getting a little far. Let's stay in Central Executive for now. We'll clear out other areas as need be. Technological restrictions. The oldest house imposes certain limitations on our bureau, but by far the most restrictive is the inability to use certain technological instruments. The oldest house does not allow devices that receive or emit any signal, any redacted signal. Radio waves are the only transmittable signals in the oldest house, and even those are often unreliable. If the power of collective unconscious is taken into account, it could be that certain pieces of technology are too new in the cultural redacted for the oldest house to redacted them. Similarly, these items have not been known to become receptacles for altered status. Technology may now be moving at too fast a pace for the redacted to occur. Modern technology tends to disappear and break here, sometimes quite violently. Agents have been injured by cell phones exploding in their pockets while entering the oldest house. Interesting. The hiss manifests in human hosts in numerous ways. The most common and least intense form is seen in the many corrupted agents floating through the Bureau. Hiss agents have maintained their human appearance, undergoing no obvious physical transformation. The most notable distinction from an unaffected human is the fact that they levitate. Well, yeah, that's noticeable. These hiss have displayed no aggressive behavior. They only seem interested in vocalizing the strange incantation ad infinitum. Perhaps these vessels are only meant to propagate the hiss corruption like spores or Wi-Fi boosters, or are they cocoons preparing to enter their next stage of evolution? When attacked, hiss agents disappear, perhaps entering a state of invisibility or undergoing a transformation into a purely resonant form. Research is ongoing. Okay. One seems to be staying on more constantly. I can't tell if it made any sound. Like, I don't think the incantation in the background there was really coming out of it necessarily. It seemed about as loud regardless. So I don't know if they're doing anything. I'm not sure what the radios are for. Listen. I know you can't control building shifts, but the executive-level restroom has been missing for weeks now. I worked my ass off in the Islamabad station for 3 years. I've earned the right to a nice workplace shitter. If you can't bring it back, at least find out where it went. Cordially, D. Rodriguez. Now that is a problem in the workplace. Having your bathroom up and disappear. It's a problem anywhere. Not just the workplace. That sounds horrible. Oh, this seems connected enough to the central executive to explore now. But seemingly bootlessly. Okay. I'll just leave my boots then. I'm sure there will be secrets I cannot currently see hiding around later. Okay. Gave it a good run around there. Actually, let me peek back into this corner. One more time. I think I walked kind of right past it. Just to make sure. Alright, clearance level 1. And we may have gone in here. Yes, we definitely did. Perfect. Let's go get that telephone. Thank you for indulging me there. My random attempts to be thorough. Communications Department. Onward. All right, we're going this way. Sorry about your blood. It's everywhere now. Oh, some agents. Hey. I'm a little disturbed by how easily I've embraced the violence. Regarding travel costs. The boys in research say performing rituals may help identify places of power. Drinking little whiskeys is my ritual. Every little bit helps. Out of all of those various motel names, I think Sleepy Bear Motel, is both the most comforting and frightening. That's, a lot of unfortunate lives. Lost to the hiss, it seems. All right, let's not go that way ever. Did you just split yourself in twain down the crack? Is that what I saw? Or do my eyes deceive me? If I didn't know any better, I'd say you split yourself in twain right down the crack. And well, I just wouldn't suggest that. Okay, where did I actually come from? Must have been that side? Yes, I walked past the thing and came down the stairs. Just double checking. Unstable area notice. Due to the recent fluctuations in the nearest control point, this area's stability has been downgraded to yellow. For reference, green, stable. Yellow, a low possibility of unanticipated building shifts. Orange, a high likelihood. Red, frequent unanticipated building shifts. Good to know. Sometimes you just need to enjoy a little nature in the middle of a long work day. Okay, I'm not necessarily seeing any pick-upables. Let's check the shelter. Anybody alive? Event Summary. Havana, AWE 48. An auditory event occurred at the United States Embassy in Havana, injuring the majority of diplomatic staff stationed there. I think I've actually heard about this in real life. Redacted deaths were reported, and the outgoing information has been managed. The event response. Bureau agents arrived at the embassy on the same day as the event was reported through federal channels, but were too late to witness the AWE, which is reported to have been... Staff experienced sudden intense vibrations and noise, accompanied by an intense pressure in the ears. This lasted for a number of minutes. No visual phenomena was witnessed. The scene was cordoned off and the embassy staff transported to the continental U.S. After Formula I.9 was recited in the vicinity, a single cowboy boot began to vibrate, identifying it as an altered item. The item was contained and brought to the Bureau for examination. See case file A185. A cowboy boot that causes auditory vibrations? Something's wrong with this shelter. Unless it's a shelter for coral. Is that hurting me? I can't tell. Yes, it is. There we go. Just needed to step a touch further. So I must need some sort of special suit? Perhaps? Okay. I'll believe you. I'm not foolish enough not to believe it. Oh, there's something up there. But how would I get up there? Aha! Thank you. Thank you, corner of my eye. Alright, once again, pardon me my thorough searches. The dead letters. It seems like specifically a separate section to the communications department that I'm trying to get to. Communications department. But I can't. Okay. I'll trust that I need to go through dead letters. Just making sure I'm not crazy there. Machine God. This ought to be interesting. I had a dream, and I built the thing I saw in my dream, a machine that will contain God. But not the God you know, or the ones anyone knows, a new God. This machine will be his body, his heart, his mind. I made it just like the dream showed me. I used the motor from the refrigerator, and the coils from my toaster, and the fans, plus the timing belt from my car's engine, and the wheels from my son's skateboard. God can't move yet, but the dream said he would learn how to on his own. This is just a beginner's body, like a baby's, but a machine instead. God only needs a place to start. If you want to interview me, please contact me at the address on the envelope. My phone does not work anymore. I had to use the dialing plate on God. Gently down the steps. Don't trip. Try not to trip. It's your first day. The Singing Fish. Mr. Governor, I called the police, but they never come to my house. I got a problem, and you got to send folk to fix it. I got my wife one of them singing fish on the walls. It's not a real fish. It sings when you hit a button. But it's got the devil in it. It flies around at night and sings devil songs, says lots of cuss words. The devil got in my house 'cause of the fish, and you got to come handle it. My wife is real upset. When can you come? Sincerely, Dwayne Barr. That fish has got the devil. Greetings, Director Trench. I'd like to thank you for approving my request for the Dead Letters Archive. Cataloging the Bureau's collection of delinquent mail will provide an extremely handy database that research teams can use to search for any connections or related topics found among the letters. Aside from the more functional purposes, the archive will allow us to preserve these windows into authentic human encounters with the paranatural world. The letters came to us from various places and times, gathered by the Postal Service as undeliverable. The Bureau is the perfect home for them. I realize not all letters contain accounts of genuine paranatural events, but even the erroneous ones allow us insight into how the unknown is perceived by real people. Of course, I will first compile a system that will allow us to analyze the letters for any information or suspected connections to AWEs and other altered materials. So thank you again. Can't wait to delve into my dead letters. P. Bartwell. Good on you, P. Valiant effort. As valiant as it is scholarly. Speaking of scholarly, let's kick some ass. I don't even care that you're wearing body armor. I will palm strike you regardless. I shouldn't be messing around quite so much, judging by my health bar. Are we good? Nope, we're not good. Alright, we got another control point. Let's cleanse. I don't think I'm ever going to get tired of seeing that. That is very, satisfying. Strangely satisfying. Alright. Corruption cleared. Maybe the door to the communications department will now be open. This is a very tall room now that it's opened up. It makes me wonder how many levels it actually has that are accessible. A lot to explore.
Communications. We're on the right track.
Alright, lovely. Don't even have to go back out to the locked door. There's an entrance right here. Let's clear the area just a bit.
Just look at it. 8 inches wide and capable of storing a whopping 80 kilobytes. Stolen by our friends at the CIA, the disk held the launch codes to Soviet nukes. This is not the disk, of course, but one exactly like it. A perfect fusion of concepts vibrating in the Cold War era collective unconscious. A receptacle. It is a receptacle for dangerous energies to hone in on. And they did. We don't have the details, but when things started flying around the disk, it was transferred to us. It's an object of power. OOP. Oops. Oh, and it can launch things telekinetically through the air. To date, we've launched maybe 3 dozen pencils. And once, we even launched a cup.
Oh, standing ovation. You launched a cup. My God, our research money is really, truly making a difference, everyone. No, I'm sure that will lead to a very useful breakthrough in telekinesis. You gotta start somewhere. Alright, I'm assuming I still don't have any outfits. And I can't even access them from here. Okay, sure. Let me me give a quick look around the perimeter. Though I do believe this area was already accessible. I can't quite recall. Yeah, I think we should be fine. Let's head on through the communications department. It is so weird to try to focus in on what the chanting in the background is saying. It's always just catch little bits and pieces, and they're always so horrifying. Like, we have taken your bodies. Here's where they keep the internet usage rules. It's not for social media use. Level 5 clearance required to access the internet. If a cubicle's black rock shell gets damaged, vacate it immediately and alert Mr. Tomasi. If you notice any text in your work that you do not recall writing, vacate your cubicle immediately and alert Mr. Tomasi. Do not connect internal comm devices to the network. Printer is for communications department use only. Altered items forbidden in the cubicles. Notify security of any breaches. Well, now we know. Oh, jeez. The pneumatics are acting up again.
An object
Pneumatics?
of power.
What are you
Something
doing?
splashed onto it. We need
Ah.
to cleanse it.
Duck and cover. Alright, we'll get in there. 1 second. Let me check the old shelter first. You know how I feel about shelters. Book Club Notes for Penny by L. Sampson. So I don't usually read a lot of sci-fi, but as far as space operas go, this was alright. The title, Unless You, could refer to a bunch of things in the book, I guess, but I thought it was a little vague and stupid. The way the characters kept throwing it around, almost like a catchphrase, got annoying real fast. The best part of the story was the space battles. I sided with the Fixers, obviously, because they had the coolest tech, and their motives made the most sense to me. Honestly, if I had to choose between some hoity-toity flowers and guns space hippies or a badass bunch of warriors who go around devouring planets like cheap sushi on a Sunday, I know who I'm picking. That scene where they invade City Planet and convert the entire population using those brain worms, and that space dog fight between those two ace pilots, sign me the fuck up. What kind of ruined the whole thing for me was when my favorite character got killed not even halfway through the story by getting a battery cylinder launched into his face. By a gravitational anomaly, his death didn't feel necessary at all. Is that what we just saw? Did that just happen live over there because you wrote this in here? Is this like a Death Note situation? Be honest with me. I guess we're about to find out. Into the fray. I would love to crouch to take cover. Thank you. Found a glowy television screen over here if anyone needs one. That's up for grabs. Compressor number 3. Okay, I guess we're getting across. Oh, right stick, not left stick. Right stick. Ah. Okay, seems likely we're going up the stairs. Sure. I guess it's that floppy disk he was talking about. Obviously. What else could it be? Just trying to get a good look at the thing in the middle. And it is indeed a floppy disk. Okay. Let me get my hands on your floppy.
It's harder to hear you when I'm here. It's like the channel's been changed. The board's in charge here. They're pyramids in the bureau seal. Are they really the ones pulling the strings? I'm not their director. I'm no one's director.
Ooh, fancy. I'm gonna make all kinds of use of this. Okay, already done, I guess. Fair enough. I thought maybe it needed more. Can I stand on one and then lift it? No. Specifically no. They saw me coming. Hey, let's try my new powers. Well, that's devastating. Even more so than the living gun. I will happily take it. Stay down. The nuke is now delivered.
There you are. You were gone. Cut off.
So the board
I got
calls
it.
the hiss
Just
the
like you
antagonist.
wanted, right? This will help me fight the hiss.
Just letting you know where I am. Just revealing my position. Have some pneumatic tubes. Enjoy them. They're tasty and sweet. This explodes. Watch out for it. There it is. Where'd you go? Grenades, really, at a time like this. I'm gonna put this rebar somewhere you are not going to be pleased about. Okay. There you are. constant surprise. Kept me guessing for a while there. Bravo. I should watch out for that fall damage. It exists. The fall damage is real. It's gonna be a little harder finding collectibles once I've kiboshed the place with my telekinesis. I don't know what exactly these are. Sometimes I pick them up. Maybe it's just health? Little health nubs? I'm not sure. Because sometimes I pick them up and sometimes I can't, seemingly. So I imagine this is the same shelter we checked before we walked in there. It probably hasn't changed. But here we are, just in case. I guess I'm going this way. Just curious if one of those doors would open.
Emily said that the hotline can be reached through the mailroom.
Okay. That's enough searching around. I've had my fun. It's a very impassioned speech someone is making back there. I can't catch most of it. Okay. Come on now. There. Gotta remember to hold it down. I keep just pressing it. Yikes. Well, there's my first death. It had to happen eventually. If I can remember to hold my telekinesis button, hopefully this will go better. Mesmerizing. Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? Wow. I think somebody put something in my coffee. Alright, so I'm back here. I wonder if it's like fully... yeah, it must be taking me back quite a bit. Oh, never mind. I just expected this guy to still be lying there, but his body obviously has respawned. So I don't believe we've lost any progress.
Can be reached through the mailroom.
Let me see if it remembered us picking these 2 boxes up. Ah, here's something I flat out missed last time. How fortuitous. Reinformation campaign, summary of Willow AWE. National news sites have begun publishing the story of the polar bear attack on the Alaskan town. You all know I don't like to boast, but claiming that the family was killed by migrating polar bears desperate for food because their ecosystem is being ruined by global warming was a stroke of genius. Using current ecological concerns makes the public much less likely to redact it. So another AWE behind us, and the public none the wiser. Well done, everyone. It was a strong campaign and perfectly executed. This doesn't mean we can stop monitoring for any off-message opinions, but it's looking like we're in the clear. Tomasi out. Manipulating the general public, are we? Sounds like an apt pastime for something titled the Federal Bureau of Control. So, I thought there was a box there, so it remembered the box. That's good. I'm assuming it would also have remembered the one on the other side then. And I won't even check it. So yeah, they're telling us go through the mailroom. That is locked. I completely missed whatever this is. Clearance level 1.
This must open the door.
Fantastic. And here's another checkpoint I could have picked up. Reprioritize my room searches. Okay. Shelter up here. I still haven't had to actually use one of these. I'm assuming at some point there will be a, oh my gosh, get in the shelter immediately and close it behind you like so situation. That has not happened yet. I'm looking forward to it. Nice of them to add a little toilet privacy. That's very, very kind.
Listening to America Overnight, mystifying the airwaves for more than 29 years.
Oh yeah. Here's my jam.
Thank you for staying on with us. Ghosts. We've had many callers over the years tell us of hauntings, voices, and other phantasmagorical phenomena. Today, friend of the show, Dr. Quincy Reagan, tells his story. Quincy, thanks. This is something I experienced recently while staying at the Chili Pines Motel in Macon for last year's SuspiciaCon. I was in room 47. The night manager, an avid listener of the program, insisted I take this particular room. Now, the manager explained that years back, the body of a man was discovered under the bed, inside that wooden border that motel beds tend to have. And the body had been there a week, he said. Get guests had stayed there, sleeping with the corpse a foot below him. They only found the body when housekeepers complained about the smell. Hauntings have been reported in room 47 ever since. I happily took the room. I fell asleep pretty quick, checking under the bed first, of course. No ghosts visited me, no chilly spots or flickering lights. But when I woke up, I found myself under the bed. It was dark and stiflingly hot. Luckily, I was able to push the mattress off and crawl out before I suffocated. The night manager was kind enough to find me another room.
There you have it, listeners. What we call ghosts take many forms. Quincy was brave enough to tell his story, and I encourage you to keep calling and writing whenever you encounter something strange, something you can't explain. Maybe you're seeing colors that we have no name for. Maybe your toaster is possessed. Remember, dear listeners, when no one else believes you, we do. America Overnight, we'll be right back.
Fantastic. Got a little call-in show action. Sometimes you are the corpse under your motel bedroom. Interesting. Doesn't really appear to have a clearance level associated. Pay attention, Alberto. This is the last time I'm explaining this. Internal lockdowns are manually triggered events that lock one or all of the sectors by restricting use of the sector elevator, effectively locking staff in their sector until the emergency is handled. They can only be lifted via the directorial override in maintenance once the director is satisfied that the situation is under control. External lockdowns are a bigger deal. Nothing in or out of the whole building. It's only triggered by a code-red containment breach based on some complicated system that security and research slapped together. It can only be lifted once A, the threat has been neutralized, and B, a high-clearance individual gives the system the all-clear. This process is not the same as the directorial override, so stop saying so in documentation. I know it's confusing as hell. I've told Darling 100 times to change it, but they're adamant it stays the way it is. Honestly, I don't think they even know how to change it at this point. Let's just make sure our staff understand how this mess all works, okay? Marshall. Sounds like the janitor singing again, but is it coming from this alarm clock? I have no clue. So there's more of that weird stuff that we cannot survive in there. We will have to make note of it and return. Yeah, this seems unlocked too. Let's take a peek. Ah, yes, this is where I died last time. Alright, let's get some things. And now I'm out. I'm out of telekinetic power. Give me those health nubs. Gimme, gimme. So it really seems like telekinesis is the only thing that's hurting them, in fact. Darn. I've got to get better at that. I'm not sure if it's just their shield that's causing me so much problem, and if I need to get their shield away with telekinesis and then I can shoot them more easily, or if it's only telekinesis all the way down. I'm also not sure if there's some sort of cover system I should be using beyond just what you see is what you get. Alright, I do have clearance to get in there now. I'm not sure if it would help me to go in there first before whatever it is we're ending up at. What I'm still trying to do is just fully explore and pick up the documents and things. I just keep ending up back in that same death trap somehow. Okay, one more try at this. I have no idea why I'm being so persistent. Ranger. Okay. Get the telekinesis. Put it in your hand. Darn. I don't know if I just need, like, a different power to beat that ranger or what's happening. I have so little health. And he, so much. So let's try going through the door here that we got clearance for. See if there's some new ability that will help us. Okay.
They can fly now. Great.
Hiss corrupted Tomasi. That doesn't sound good. Okay, yeah. far, so good. Stay down, you. Ah, darn it. Not enough health nubs. Not enough health nubs to go around. So I'm at that nice point in a new game where you're not sure if you're just bad at it. I don't know if I'm just bad at it, and I need to get better, or I don't know if I'm completely forgetting some big element of combat that would help me here. You know, the classic conundrum. It seems like I should have a way to defend myself slightly better. I was trying to keep crouched behind that thing there. But lacking, say, a health potion or something, I'm not sure what I could be doing differently.
They can fly now. Great.
Never mind. Come on, Tomasi. I like how his little sleeves trail behind him.
I have a feeling he'll be back.
As if he got too
Let's
hot
stay focused.
during the transformation and
Should be
unbuttoned his
past
blouse
now.
part way. But then the possession took him over, and now he just has little inflatable tube man sleeves behind him for the rest of time. Okay. So I'm hoping this will finally give me the hotline that we have so long sought after. If I can just stop looking for collectibles. Come on now, there we go. I've turned myself away. Hotline chamber. Yes, yes please. Anybody want to read the Butte summary? AWE 17. A spate of disappearances was traced to a home in the city of Butte, where Bureau agents discovered a translocative light switch cord. Bureau agents arrived at the home of a local celebrity, you know, one of those local celebrities of Butte, which had been connected to a total of disappearances in the area. Agents found no one inside. While searching a closet, an agent pulled the light switch cord and disappeared from view. Another agent was selected to pull the cord. In order to replicate the event, he disappeared as well. Both agents were discovered at the oldest house some days later, found in a sealed room by rangers exploring a new area of the house. The light switch cord in the Butte home's closet disappeared during this incident. That is super fascinating. Why would they have come here to the Bureau?
Alberto Tomasi, head of comms.
A little bit of blood on it. Sorry about that.
The hiss got him.
Okay. Collectibles looted.
Alright, take this down. The situation in Cuba has been evaluated by the relevant authorities. The mysterious illness
I'd better listen.
at the U.S. Embassy in Havana was caused by sonic weaponry in the hands of a foreign power. Numerous personnel have damage to the inner ear, but most are expected to make a full recovery. Of course, the event also damaged their cellular walls, but we can't blame that on some stupid noise gun. Thank God no local doctors examined them first. Honestly, what are the odds an alternate item would show up inside a U.S. embassy? Talk about good luck, huh? So much easier to... Hey, are you still recording this?
Yeah, Tomasi. We've recorded a lot of your rather unfortunate opinions
The hotline can't be
over the
found.
last two media items. Supplement. According to their testimony, the agents had been transported from the Butte home to a roadside motel named the Ocean View Motel and Casino and discovered a room key by performing a ritual. The key opened a door marked with an inverted black pyramid, which they only learned after a lengthy period of trial and error. After pulling another motel cord found inside this room, they were transported to the oldest house. Interestingly, so they didn't go directly there. They went to a motel and were then transported to the oldest house on a second run. The disappearances of the home's owner and the other locals of Butte have been attributed to the light switch cord. The Ocean View Motel is now known to have many doors and pathways. Blah, blah, blah. Since the occurrence, identical light switch cords to the one found in the Butte home have begun appearing throughout the oldest house. At the time of writing, light cords have been found in the oldest house located in sectors. These all access the Ocean View Motel, though how exactly this link operates is But initial hypotheses center on the Butte AWE as a... who knows? So there is an ongoing issue of light switches appearing that teleport you to different locations. Light switch cords, I suppose. Specifically? Security log. Director Trench, Custodian, Carol Bishop, Custodian. I'm assuming we are in 2019 still at this point, judging by those dates.
The Ocean View Motel and Casino.
Hey, Trench.
Dream logic. The light switch cord. Door marked with the black pyramid.
Here we go.
Whoa. Have we been here before? No.
I'm in a motel now.
I've stayed at a lot of roadside motels across the country. On the road, on the run, under the radar. This feels like all of them, like something recognized from a dream.
A black pyramid. Not sure if I want to ring that bell just yet. Who would that entice? Here at the seemingly interdimensional Ocean View Motel. So this side is all actual room numbers. The other side is all symbols. What did that one say? Casino. There we go. Okay, now I'll ring the bell.
Hello? Anyone here?
Nothing. Is that? Yep, that's opening doors. Okay. Let's go in this one. Just a room. What were you expecting? Likely story. Just the exact same room, exactly. What were you expecting? Finally, we're getting somewhere.
Key has a black pyramid on it.
I probably should have tried that door earlier, and then I would know, oh, it's locked. Let's look for a key. I didn't do that and skipped right to step 2. And that's it, right? It starts back on this side. Huh. Okay. And it doesn't change this side at all. I don't believe so. Just checking. And here we go again. Third time's the charm. You guys know when that hotline ring, it can really only mean one thing. The seashell is a bridge. I'm gonna go contract some extra-dimensional entities. Ah! I don't like them. I don't like the entities. In the Hotline Collectibles menu, we expect weekly calls.
It is a phone. It's an object of power. It doesn't connect to any typical network. A direct line to the astral plane and the board. And my hypothesis is, under the right conditions, to other planes of existence as well.
A director needs a team. My management team. These people know the secrets of the Bureau as well as I do. Some even better. Darling, Tomasi, Salvador, Marshall. Marshall especially, my head of operations. She sees right through me. She knows I don't like relying on people. The only person you should fail is yourself. But things change when you become director.
Some things change in your nose when you become
I can
director.
reach Trench. Well, listen to him. He feels more like an echo. An echo with important info. I need to get back to Emily. People react strongly when I tell them about you. Is it too soon to tell Emily? She might be able to help.
It's never too soon to tell Emily. That's the motto by which I live my life. Mostly because I don't actually know anyone named Emily, strange to say. So it's pretty easy to live my life by that motto. I do believe they want me to go out this way, in all likelihood. Oh, back to the director's office. Interesting. Is anyone ever going to clean Trench's blood from my desk? Do I have to do it? Oh, I hit the wrong button halfway through there. Let's try to find it. Bureau funding, that was the one. To all executive staff. I know there is some concern regarding our operations exceeding the annual budget. So long as we operate within the oldest house, we are obscured from scrutiny in many respects. If our budget demands are not exorbitant to the point of drawing attention, then they will be granted by the U.S. Treasury without question. The FBC is just another line in another spreadsheet that some lowly accountant won't even notice. Their eyes will skip over us as if we weren't even there. The nature of the oldest house allows us certain freedoms in how we operate. Our being here is no accident. Regards, Zachariah Trench. I don't care for your sense of fashion. Sorry, it's been a long day. Okay, Central Executive? Emily? Oh, Emily? She must be up the stairs there. We are getting close, I hope, to a good stopping point. I will maybe speak with Emily first here, and then I should probably go, get some recording done before the big to-do this afternoon. Which I also need to get ready for, I suppose. This is the central one, right? Let's see if this one has the outfits. Which likely still has nothing in it. Okay. Just checking.
Jesse, did you get the hotline? I mean, how is it out there? The comms? The hiss? Sorry. You made it. I'm glad.
Yes,
Emily?
I am alive.
Let's talk.
Analysis of Hiss Threat, Part 1, Confidential. Initial encounters with the entity known as the Hiss have revealed various behavioral facts. Most notably, the Hiss is able to invade or corrupt control points, altered items, and even humans, radically changing their behavior. Curiously, any person wearing one of the wearable HRA devices that Dr. Darling has been distributing over the past weeks was not affected by this corruption. The only known exception to this is the new director, Jessie Faden, who possesses an inherent immunity to the Hiss. This could indicate that she has already been corrupted, but her behavior is so in contrast to that of the other Hiss that I have dismissed the theory. My final observation comes from Miss Faden herself. She is able to cleanse material and organisms of the Hiss corruption. We tested this ability on a Hiss-corrupted entity, but unfortunately the process seems to kill the host. Perhaps the host's physiology becomes reliant on the Hiss. More work to be done.
Of course.
I got the hotline. I can make out what Trench is saying now.
Incredible. What did he say?
He talked about his management team. People who knew the Bureau's secrets. Your boss, Darling. Tomasi, but he's gone. He's gone. Salvador?
He's the head of security.
And Marshall?
Helen Marshall is head of operations. She's tough, ex-CIA. She took her Rangers and went to the research sector to secure the HRA production. She hasn't come back.
Someone who could help us. The other sectors. How do I get there?
It's impossible because of the internal lockdown. You can perform a directorial override to lift it, but that can only be done in the maintenance sector. Normally, you take the sector elevator down there. It connects all the sectors, but it won't work while the lockdown is in effect.
We already got past one lockdown. Maybe I can find a way.
Jesse, look, with no prep, no training, in this extreme situation, you are doing phenomenally well. And all that and the Hiss can't seem to affect you. I mean, I would love to run some tests on you. If you agree, that is. We could find out something that would help us.
Tests? I don't know. She might find out about you. But I wouldn't mind understanding more myself. Okay. If you think it will help.
Great. I'll check the internal documentation for any lockdown bypasses. We need to get these sectors open to locate Darling and Marshall.
And I'll look for a way inside the maintenance sector. The sooner we find one, the sooner I reach this override.
It's curious that she's always addressing you, but she has to make her own decisions. It's like we're not having a conversation or guiding her actions necessarily. We are just along for the ride, and she's informing us. Wherever we are. Okay. We know our goal. Upgrade and unlock new abilities from the nearest control point. Well, sure.
Hi, Jesse.
I think we got all of these taken care of. Not sure why she's so well
Thanks,
marked.
Emily.
Must
sure
just
I'll
be
have
an
more questions
interaction
soon.
point.
Just let me know. Do you hear
Alright,
that?
so let's take a quick look in the control point.
Sounds like it's coming from the elevator.
I don't hear the singing, actually. There it is. Now I hear the singing.
Time to work. Meet me in the maintenance.
Oh yes, Artie, I will. I will meet you in the maintenance, but first... I have to check my outfits again. Okay. Board countermeasures. What does that mean? Huh. Seems like a sort of challenge list, maybe? Kill enemies in the executive sector with headshots, etc. Astral constructs. Shatter has high stopping power. So I guess it could be like your weapon can morph into different firing modes with these unlockables, perhaps? And then can just do various different things with these. Not sure why they're all the same. Obscured weapon or obscured personal. Insufficient materials to enable higher tier mods. Fair enough. Generate new randomized mods. Huh. I'll have to do a little bit more research into how to mess with that exactly. Energy, health, melee damage, launch damage. And that appears to continue on all the way down the column. Perfect. Fairly simple unlock system. I appreciate that. Let's go for a little more health, as that is where I'm currently struggling. That would cost 3, so we could get another one, or we could get one of each of these. Let's just sort of even ourselves out for now. Get a nice baseline foundation. Alright. And upgrading has unlocked an additional weapon form slot. Okay, so we will be headed towards the elevator to meet up with Ati, the singing janitor, and head on down to the maintenance section of the Federal Bureau of Control next time. I still have no idea yet what's going on, but oh goodness, I am excited. Thank you very much for bearing with me on a new journey here. We will see where it takes us. Thank you for your time and your kind attention. I will see you again soon.